Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so let's talk about PVC Rolexes. These are Rolexes that come from places like Bamford or Pro Hunter that are basically colored black, and that's a third-party thing. And particle something coating. Basically, what they do is they spray it with a thin particle matter that turns the watch black. You'll have to check it out for the actual science on it. That's about as much as I can give you. But first of all, let me tell you where I got this topic. I was reading the Rolex forum today, and somebody wrote in and has a friend who wants to have their, I think it's GMT, have this process done to it to turn it black. And this guy, this friend of his, was just asking where he can have it done. Apparently this friend of his is in the military and doesn't want the shininess of a Rolex because, it could you could get yourself killed if your Rolex starts shining in the enemy's eyes, right? So that's where the topic came from. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description because it's kind of interesting. The Rolex forum is probably not the place to ask where you do weird things like that to your Rolex. And there was one commenter, Mango Seed. He came out guns blazing, called it disrespectful to the watch. And I have a feeling that he was expecting other users to follow suit and to kind of back him in this, but they didn't. And it's interesting because you can see a commenter who has gone on the attack and just refuses to relent, and Mango Seed just can't quite get over the fact that the original poster gets a leg up on him, and he doubles down to his failure. It's entertaining. You can see Mango Seed's failing in this thread. Let me just say that I'm not a fan of this practice, and I would never do it to one of my Rolexes for sure. But I tell you, if you're in the military and you're going to use your Rolex in combat, that is probably the one time where I would say it might be a good idea. I mean, either that or you're not going to be able to really use your Rolex. You don't want it blinging and shining and calling attention to yourself. So the one time when I think it's a good idea is in the case of this guy who wants to use his Rolex, presumably in combat. Let's talk about the PVC coating. I believe that Bill Clinton has a black Rolex. I think there are a few celebrities with them. And when I was in Fukuoka, I stopped by that secondhand shop. They had the Hulk. Now, when I went there with Maynard in Japan, they had two PVC Rolexes, two kind of customized Rolexes. One was an Explorer 2, just like this, although it was black, obviously, and in the hand, I'm not sure if the hands were orange, but it was like a black and orange color scheme. And there was also an Air King that had the PVC coating on it as well. Now, I can't really remember the price of the Explorer 2, but I know the Air King was, what was it? It was in yen, 999,000 yen, about $1,000,000 yen, which is about $10,000. And I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't pay 10 grand for that sort of customization. But it was interesting because in the secondhand shop, they said it was a rare Rolex and it's, custom. And I think they had something like it could possibly be the only one in the world. So if you have more money than sense, you might see that and think, wow, this is like a really collectible, cool Rolex. I mean, I got to pick this up, which, if you ask me, nothing could be further from the truth. I remember asking Maynard in Japan what he thought of it, and he said, well, if I could flip it for $10,000, I'd do it to one of my Rolexes. So, very, strange. I guess somebody did it to those two watches. I'm assuming it's the same owner. And then, I don't know, sold them to the secondhand shop. Now, what I'd like to know is what the secondhand shop paid for them. Did they pay $7,000 and then tack on another $3,000, or did they look at it and say, you kind of screwed up the Rolex and gave him $3,000 or $2,000 for it, and then tacked on a huge margin? I don't know. I've heard that this PVC coating, it scratches very easily, and once it scratches, it exposes the lower bottom layer, which is going to be this colored. So it's not something, I guess you could have it done again, but I think there's a lot of potential for your watch to look kind of beat up around the corners, and having the metal, shiny metal show through is a possibility I hear. What do you guys think about this? For me, I think it's sort of blasphemy in a way. I mean, there's nothing I want done to a Rolex other than what Rolex does to it, and that includes polishing, which is ironic because this has a non-Rolex polish on it. I'm going to rectify that at the next service. But I'm sort of a purist in that way. I mean, you give me just a regular Rolex that, no sort of customization, no, third-party dial, nothing. I just like, Rolexes as they are. Again, read the forum, because it's kind of interesting. This Mango Seed likens the current GMT to art and defacing art. Now, I wouldn't go that far. It's funny because, I had to step back and again, I don't agree with the practice. And again, like I said, in this case, I think I'd make an exception because of the practicality of it. But, it's odd that people can customize pretty much damn anything they want as far as I'm concerned. But when I see it done to a Rolex, it's kind of cringy. Apparently, Rolex won't service a watch that this has been done to. It's interesting because if you start messing around with your Rolex and customizing things and putting all bells and whistles on it and a new dial on it and this and that, Rolex will turn you away. With the PVC coating, they'll turn you away. And if it's aftermarket part, that's curious. If you had, for example, a blue dial put into your sub, which I've seen subs for sale on eBay with a custom dial, and you took it to have it serviced, I wonder if Rolex would turn you away. It's a good question. I wonder, and it might depend on the Rolex service center. I think in your best case scenario there, you should probably feign ignorance and agree to pay for a new dial, which they are certainly going to require if they do choose to service the watch. Anyway, I'm a purist. No extra bezels, no third-party bezels, no third-party, nothing. I like it 100% Rolex. I don't even want, a plastic seal. Anyway, let me know what you think. Would you guys be keen on one of these PVC Rolexes or third-party pieces? Let me know. Take care. It's my little friend there. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.